Good morning. It's Monday, and I'm Nancy Joy, freshly back from Egypt and Chicago. I've been gone almost 20 days. I apologize for the stack up of reflections that happened all on the same Monday. They were supposed to come one right after the other while I was gone. Anyway, you got an overdose. There's no quote. Today I'm calling this little video, Mercury Retrograde Gone Wild. When Mercury goes retrograde, for those of you who don't know, it's the planet of communications, amongst other things. And it appears to be going backwards during a retrograde. It's not actually going backwards in orbit, but it appears that way from where we watch it. So it affects, astrologically, communications. You shouldn't sign contracts. Computers have issues, cell phones. Any kind of communications, you don't understand each other, all that kind of thing during a Mercury retrograde. Well, this Mercury retrograde started out with a bang for the world. Not only did my trip start on the day before Mercury retrograde, and it was all the way through it, but the world experienced the eruption of the volcano in Iceland, which, what did it do? It created a massive travel nightmare, as many of the airlines couldn't fly out of all the places in Europe, many of the places in Europe. For days, travelers were stranded, trips were canceled, flights were canceled, and then there's all the rescheduling. Well, of course, I knew immediately this trip was going to be greatly affected. We had people coming from Europe. Quite a few of my people's flights were affected. I knew this before I left. So I was prepared this time. I had bought a smartphone a few months back, and it was a world phone. I could get email and text. I'd given everyone the number. Don't worry, let us know your changes. We'll get you picked up. Well, I get over there. I had called the Verizon beforehand to get it turned on, told them what I had. They turned it on, charging me the monthly fee, whatever. Get over to Egypt. Doesn't work at all. I get off the plane, no signal, nothing. I could use it as an alarm clock, and that's about it. And so I called, and on one of the fellow Egyptian friends of mine phone, to find out that the phone they sold me, the Droid, is in all actuality not a world phone. It's not capable of being used abroad. I ripped out my hair. That was just the beginning. I was using another world phone I had, my old one. I brought it along just in case. Well, that one didn't work. Make a long story short, the credit card number had expired on that phone, so that one didn't work. Meantime, all these people are trying to get a hold of me to let me know that their flight has changed. Now, I did give them backup numbers, but it was just a drama. It was 2 days of constant drama, and I was very frustrated, really physically upset. Charles in charge. I wasn't in charge of anything. But I did have to learn to surrender, and I did have to learn to trust. And I did learn that the world unfolds very much in its own rhythm if you surrender to it, because this continued throughout the trip. It wasn't just this incident. Finally, we got everybody over there, got everyone together. What a great, wonderful group of people. All women except for Mallku from Peru, my Peruvian shaman who went, and Amro, who's our Egyptologist and awesome trip coordinator. So we met each other. None of us, well, few had known each other, but not too many. And what a wonderful, beautiful group of people. Praise Allah, because it was such a wonderful group. All the shifts and changes seemed to work themselves out without anyone attaching particularly to what would or wouldn't work. First morning we were all together. I woke up, and one of the people, I was down at breakfast, one of the people came and said there's been an accident. One of the travelers had been hit by a hotel laundry cart. Make a long story short, delightful woman from Switzerland, Alexandra, had her hip fractured by being hit by a laundry cart in the hotel. So this affected our trip. It affected her, certainly in timing. I won't even go into the detail. The Egyptian people were wonderful. She had a whole hip replacement at a very, very nice hospital. But, of course, she wasn't with us on our journey. So that was a communication, staying in touch or trying to, and keeping Alexandra present in our vibration as she held this field. Certainly, that trip did not go as planned at all for her either. Then we had people who mistakenly made their plane reservations too early, left before they were scheduled to leave before they were supposed to, so we had to change our Great Pyramid visit, and that went on and on. Well, what happened with the Great Pyramid visit is because we changed it, we ended up, this is the first ever for me, we ended up with 3 hours of private time for our group in the Great Pyramid. It's normally 2, and they're very strict and very methodical anymore. And we ended up, don't tell Zawi Hawass or the Egypt Antiquities Department, but we ended up being able to take our cameras. Now that's a first for me. Freely taking videos and pictures inside the Great Pyramid. So we had a tremendous amount of orbs. It was quite a powerful time. And if you can imagine doing the shamanic Peruvian ceremonies inside the Egyptian Great Pyramid. It was outstanding. So I'm very, very tired, but I did want to connect this morning, and I want to tell you that as the earth changes happen, things like Mercury retrograde, those kind of things, they're going to intensify, they're going to expand. And for my lesson and my learning was to keep surrendering, to keep trusting, to keep breathing, and to trust what was happening. Why do we go to sacred sites? Now, this is important because this became crystal clear to me. Had this happened at home, this would have been a whole different story. Having it happened on a sacred site and all of us moving into the rhythm of it, each in our own way, we all moved into the rhythm of it to create the opening that we needed to do the work we were there to do, which was to integrate the feminine energy of Pachamama in the southern hemisphere with the very masculine energy of Egypt, Atlantean energy, and male energy that you find in Egypt. And it was a huge success in that way. And the thing I discovered the most because of this whole situation, ceremonies, everything that I normally did was tweaked and changed. And as I kept surrendering to it and owning my frustration and my feelings, things kept shifting so beautifully. And what I discovered that each one of these women individually represented a face of the divine feminine and in support of the masculine energy. Each of their stories, each of their histories, each of their emotional fields, each of their spiritual beliefs were all faces, I'd say, of the goddess, of me or of you. And what was so beautiful that in some ways this group was hard to rally together because of all, I just mean logistically, because going here, going there, miscommunication, where is somebody said something else, all that stuff. And yet, everyone was so heart connected that the connection was beyond what appeared to be on the surface. It was deeper than that. And I'm sure each of us know that we activated a part of the other within our own hearts. So why the sacred journey? To remove yourself from your life and place yourself on a vibration of such power that your experiences truly initiate you and change your life. So I hope you had a good 3 weeks, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the regular reflections, and thanks for listening. Have a great week. See you next week.